Okay, it's working, dude. Look at that. All right, we are live from Guelph, Ontario for another edition of Arvo Sports. The Waterloo Ravens visiting the Guelph Junior Griffins or something. Anyway, first round of the playoffs should be a good one.
What's the microphone? Oh, perfect.
That's right. Both teams look chipper during the warm-up. Starting in goal for Waterloo, looks like number 1, Zoe Whetstone. Undoubtedly hoping for a little more help up front from her teammates in the last couple of games. Waterloo looked pretty good against Guelph in their last 2 meetings with a win and a tie. But this is certainly a strong team. We're playing on the big ice today, so possession will be important. I'm getting some feedback that my audio is a bit garbled. Jim, if you can shoot me a text, if you can hear me okay, I'll make some adjustments here. The teams are fired up, ready to go. Starting lineup, Elena Zhang at center, Mikulski on the left wing, with Scott on the right, Minikina and Hartshorn holding up the D. This is as good as the audio is going to get, folks. Apologies in advance. Waterloo wins the face-off, but Guelph is able to get it deep. Icing waved off. Up the wing to Scott, puts on brakes. Attempts to clear through the center, and it gets out. Guelph will regroup back to their blue line. Up the left side. But they don't get in too far. Scott will take it up, chip it into the middle, and that's broken up in neutral ice. Guelph pressuring early. Got an offside call at the Waterloo line. Guelph pressures. Cleared aside. Lecky dumps it up the middle. Long bomb to Eloise Bailey, but too long. Goes for icing. On defense, we now have Paez and Fuss. Bristol at center with Lecky and Bailey on the wings. One back by Guelph. Battle deep on the boards. Back up to the point. Fed in with a bit of speed. Shot on goal saved. Rebound. Saved by Whetstone. The keeper keeping them alive early. Waterloo controls up the boards, can't clear. Errant pass picked off by Waterloo, fed up the middle. To Mealing, icing waved off. Played to the corner. Zhang up the boards to Bailey on defense. D to D pass, picked off by Guelph, and back they come. Centerman back to support. Guelph carries it in deep, centering pass, picked off by Bailey. Bailey will change directions. Martin around in the corner. Mealing in to help out. Guelph carries it behind the net, cut off by Zhang. Centering pass broken up. Martin will carry it away. Zhang will pick it up. Coleman on one side, Mealing in the middle, and she scores! Elena Zhang with a wrister from the right side. Off to an early lead. Maybe the audio is not good. Alright, we'll try this again. Hopefully it sounds a little better. Zhang with a streak up the middle. Two trailing, wrist shot into the glove of the keeper. Coleman ready for the rebound. Face off to the left of the goalie. Controlled by Waterloo. Shot is blocked. Zhang will get another try with a wrister. Another big glove save. Up the boards to a pinching Minikina, but Guelph will clear. Little ping pong in the neutral zone here. And Guelph will come out on top, getting it in deep. We're going to make an adjustment at the intermission and see if we can't clean up the robotic noises in the background here. On the ice, Scott, Mikulski, and Bristol. Paez's shot is blocked. Butts on the point, gets it back in deep to Mikulski. Scott into support. Guelph takes over, fires it up the middle. No icing as it's on goal. And frozen by the goalie. The safe option. Coming on defense, we have Martin and Bailey. Bristol to take the face off. Shot is blocked. Bailey battles on the end boards. Bristol into help, and she'll carry it out to the right. There's a whistle. Your guess is as good as mine. Looks like we're going to do that face-off again. Shot gets through. Stopped by Whetstone. Waterloo wins this draw cleanly up the left wing. Lecky can't ship her opposite number. They carried in deep, quick shot, wide of the net. Martin into the corner, clears it up to the point. Corralled by the D. And this is offside. They'll have to tag up. Martin carries. Pass is intercepted by Guelph. Zhang will take it for a loop. Can't get past the D. Dump back in. Bailey picks it up behind the net. Takes it for a skate. She's got Lecky on the wing. Zhang in the middle. She'll carry. Long bomb through center. Too long for Bailey. Icing is called. We're going to move the camera, try to clean up the audio. Hopefully this is a little better. I'm no longer underneath an overhang. Guelph keeping the pressure up. Hartshorn back. Bristol supporting. Puck squirts out. Guelph can't control it. Hartshorn back into the corner. Coleman can't clear. Bristol's going to try something different, going the other way. Scott kneeling on the wing. That's intercepted. More battles. Waterloo can't clear. Bristol through the middle, picked off by the D, who takes a shot. Stopped by Whetstone, and the rebound is stopped. Minakina gets it up the boards. Still can't clear. Point shot is blocked. Puck squirts into the slot. Cleared out by Waterloo. Guelph's breakout broken up at the blue line by Paez. Zhang supports, but Guelph will come away with a bit of speed. Mikulski stands up for opposite number. Zhang out off to the races, through center. And she gets it in deep on the right wing. Mikulski chases. Scott lurking in the slot. Guelph puts it up the left wing. Chip and chase. Scott back on the back check to scoop it up safely to close out the first. Alright, we're going to shut her down and try it again and see if it's less awful.
Where you put it in the X spot.
I don't know what you mean. The phone?
It's weird. It's happening.
And we're live again. Feel free to send some feedback. Is it any better now that it was off and on again? Alright, Bristol to take the draw with Bailey on the wing, Lecky on the far side. Referee indicating a penalty. Wise Waterloo touches up. A trip is called. No one's really sure. Oh, it was called on Bristol. 10 seconds into the second. A power play for Guelph. Guelph takes the draw, gets it in behind the net. Does a turn, centering pass, picked off in front by Bailey. The shot tipped by Lecky, grabbed by Guelph. Short shot is stopped by Whetstone. Centering pass again, scooped up by Lecky, who clears it, but can't get it past the D. Battle on the boards. Martin holding her own. Eloise charges in to help. A long shot steered aside by Whetstone. Bailey fires it up the boards. Held in at the point. A long shot. Harmlessly wide. Martin tips it ahead. Guelph will come away with it in tight. A weak shot smothered by Whetstone. Penalty killers will get some fresh legs out. Minakina, Hartshorn on D. Coleman and Mealing are the forwards. Guelph wins the draw. Shot wide of the net. Hartshorn fans on the clearance. She's got two on her. Gets it up to Mealing. She gets it hard off the boards out of the zone. Coleman racing in on the forecheck. Guelph forced to regroup. Three cross the blue line. Centering attempt, smothered by Whetstone. Great forechecking on the penalty kill there. Making Guelph think twice about the breakout. 18 seconds left in the penalty. Zhang takes the draw. Wins it back to Fuss, who plays it into the corner. Guelph gets it behind the net. Fuss chases, Paez covering out front. It's centered, but The keeper's got it. Whetstone having a busy game. Guelph takes the draw. Shot is blocked. Huss chases into the corner. Up the boards to Mikulski. Guelph pressures. That's picked off by Zhang. Gets it out of the zone. Penalty is over. Stays onside. They get it behind the net. Waterloo's got to come back. Zhang, the back check. Shuts that down. Payez regroups. Up the boards. Into the schmozzle. Zhang has a whack at it. Scott has a run up the boards. And they get it out. Offside. Nice short pass, just one step behind. Bristol to take the draw with Leckie and Bailey. Bailey and Martin on defense. Yes, there's two Baileys. No relation. Bristol gives it a chip. Good draw weight to avoid the icing. Three in the corner to battle for it. Guelph comes out from behind the net, up the right wing. Can't chip it past the D. Guelph is away with one to beat. Makes a cut into the middle. And her stick is held up. And the rebound controlled by Whetstone. Two great saves. Martin out of the corner. Bristol tips it to the blue line. Can't get it out. But she's given herself a break. Off to the races. Waterloo will change lines. Minikina will keep it in, get it in deep. Bristol goes for a change. Zhang, Coleman, and Mealing on the ice. Zhang keeps it deep, Mealing in to help. Coleman lurking in the slot. Waiting for it. And out it comes, gobbled up by Guelph. With a bit of space up the right side. Guelph carries it in. And we have a body checking call against Waterloo. Mealing will go for 2 or less. The Waterloo dad's not enjoying that call one bit. Waterloo driving up the left side. Can't clear. Guelph gets it in deep. Coleman takes over. Tries that left side again. Shot from the point. Cut off. Follow-up shot. Saved by Whetstone. Kicked to the side. Fuss with a hard crack, gets it past the D. Coleman in hot pursuit. Couldn't pick that one off. Payez gets it out. The dump in, handled by Fuss. A minute left in the power play. Zhang coming in hot on this one. Waterloo with a centering pass, no one home. Guelph picks it up and clears the zone. Nice cross ice pass in the neutral zone for Guelph. They'll try coming up their left. A little deep. She's over the line. Shot is blocked by Bristol. Fired out by Bailey. Held in at the blue line. That shot is blocked by Bristol. Another shot. Blocked by Scott. That one's blocked by Bristol. The Waterloo sticks are right where they need to be. Cleared away by Martin. 15 seconds left in the power play. Bristol and Scott looking aggressive up front. That's picked off by Minikina, who's muscled off the puck. Guelph gets it in deep. Hartshorn up the boards. Scrum ensues. Squirts out into the middle over the blue line. Guelph's got to tag up. Scott chips it into the middle, but Guelph will take it. And that's steered aside. Bristol with a great clear. She'll head to the bench. Mikulski pressuring. Narrowly dodging a collision there with Mikulski. Guelph comes away with it 2-on-1. Zhang back on the back check, able to disrupt the play. Mikulski picks up the loose puck. Up to Bailey. Good use of the shoulders to keep position there. Kept in by Waterloo. It's into Mikulski's feet, and she'll have a shot. Into the glove of the keeper. Great effort by Waterloo there. Zhang to take the face off. Lecky in the slot. Kept in by Fuss. Guelph gets it to the point, but not in. Paez keeps it deep. Lecky in with Bailey. It comes up the boards. Chipped up by Guelph, and out they go. And again, Zhang on the back check disrupts the play. Fires it up the boards to Bailey, who centers to Lecky, who just gets it over the line. Bailey doing her best to keep the drive alive, gets knocked over. Dumped back in by Guelph. Fuss will take it from the corner. Off a skate, back into the middle to Zhang, who regroups and clears the line. Guelph dumps it in from center, but it gets picked off by Zhang, who's off to the races. Wide on the right. Bailey chasing to the far side, but there's two Griffins. Kept in by Fuss. Guelph trying it that same side again. Kept in by Fuss again. Kneeling behind the net. Play stays around the outside. Kept in by Martin at the point. Loose puck in the slot. Swatted at the net by Coleman. Defense pinches, and they're able to hold the zone. But Guelph does tip it out. We've got Bristol on the back check, forcing a second thought there, with an easy save for Whetstone. The majority of Guelph's shots have been low and central with not very much heat on them. The skaters aren't giving them much to work with. Face off, played to the keeper. Steers it aside. Guelph centers. That shot is blocked. Saved by the bell. End of 2. Waterloo still leading by that one early goal.
Is this thing on?
Oh, it's on. Thoughts on the game so far?
Feelings on the game so far.
Feelings all around. We'll kick off the 12-minute third period. Zhang to take the face-off. Mikulski and Scott on the wings. Controlled by Guelph. A little ping pong in the middle. Waterloo will control it. Waterloo having trouble clearing. Centering effort. Broken up and smothered by Whetstone. Bailing out the D. Zhang wins the face-off. Back to Hartshorn. Plays it up the left wing. Kept in by Guelph. Centers into the slot. That's broken up. Mikulski finds some space. Breaks out. She's got Zhang with her. One to beat. She'll regroup at the half boards. And fans on the shot. Guelph will clear. Picked up by Paez. Fires it in deep. And they get onside. Mikulski disrupting the breakout. Mealing pinched into the boards. Fuss in. Scott pulls it out. Guelph's D will get it out. And up there, right wing. Paez back to keep her on the boards. Comes away with the puck. Good battle on the boards. Squirts out. Kept in at the point. Paez passes to Fuss. She looks up ice. Finds Scott, but that's slapped back in. And Fuss will clear for icing. Some good pressure there from Guelph, but couldn't turn it into a scoring chance. Bristol to take the draw. Bailey over to Leckie in the middle. She turns. Can't find Bailey on the return, but she's got Bristol streaking. Bristol into the middle. Bailey shoots just wide. Leckie into pressure at the sideboards. Gets it in deep. Bristol picks it up. Centering pass off the side of the net. And finds Leckie in front, who smashes in the one-timer. 2-0 Waterloo. And the fans go wild. Bristol, Leckie, and Bailey out again. Ride the high. Leckie chips it in, controlled by the D, and then blocks their clearance. Bailey fires it in, and she'll go for a change. Bristol down to the ice. She looks all right. Finds Bristol in the middle with one to beat. Nice chip to herself, one-on-one with the goalie, and scores! Zoe Bristol finds the back of the net. 3-0 Waterloo. Zhang, Coleman, and Mealing face off. back to Payez, up the right to Mealing. Chipped in by Guelph from center. Zhang angles her nicely into the boards. They're calling a penalty on that. That's as gently you can take someone to the boards as possible, I think. Not sure what the call is. Didn't catch the call, but it's a 2-minute penalty for polite contact. Waterloo wins the draw. Payez carries it around the net. Tipped ahead by Mealing, but kept in by Guelph. They'll try the other side. Coleman gets it out. Down the length of the ice. A little mix-up in the back with a strong forecheck. Guelph gets it out through the middle. Bit of room to skate. Payez forces it to the outside, centering pass off the goalpost. Funny deflection in front, but can't beat Whetstone. Guelph carries behind the net. Centering effort, broken up by Whetstone. Kicked aside and smothered. Whetstone saves the day again. That line from Guelph looking dangerous up close. 1:06 left in Guelph's power play. Bristol to take the draw. One-timer from Guelph off the draw, steered aside by Whetstone. Cleared out by Waterloo. Bristol chases with Mikulski in support. Bailey and Martin on defense. Bristol scoops up a loose puck, but the centering attempt couldn't find anyone. Mikulski through the middle. Great pressure from Waterloo. Guelph will clear it, but Bristol's back to scoop it up. And she'll fire it back in through center. And get it deep. 23 seconds left in the power play. Just over 7 minutes left in the third. Waterloo still pressuring. Bristol choosing to play it in deep, kill some more time. Guelph regroups through the middle. Kept in at the point by Bailey. Fired in deep. Penalty expires. Zhang is back on the ice. Guelph carries it out through center. Cuts back into the middle, but into the waiting arms of Bristol. Puck cleared to the side. Guelph keeps it in deep. Outlet pass kind of handcuffs Scott. Quick shot by Guelph, steered aside by Whetstone again. Looking to center off of Martin's skate. Back behind the net. Bailey in. Verman goes down. And Zhang will dig that out, take it for a run. Ran into Scott on the wing. A little miscommunication there. And the puck will squirt out of the zone. Lecky chips at the center, gobbled up by Guelph. Off the skate. Lecky pressures. Zhang over the line. With Scott in the middle, has to put on the brakes. Guelph turns it around. Lecky disrupts that play. Kept in by Scott. Lecky in head first. That one squeaks through the legs into the Waterloo zone. Hartshorn. We'll call it a tie. Puck goes behind the net. Minikina watching that slot. Shot from the point. No deflection. Minikina will take it up, play it up the wing to Bailey. Through center. Lecky chips it to herself and tries to find Bailey up the right wing. Zhang in the middle. Puck in behind the net. Guelph plays it up the boards. Hartshorn keeps it in. Bailey pressures. Winger will carry it out, disrupted by Hartshorn. Coleman comes to save the day. Bailey, a good stop there. Coleman gets it in deep. Guelph on their heels again. 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Bit of ping pong through neutral zone, but Waterloo gets it in again. Guelph's defense takes it around the net. Clears up the boards. Waterloo pinches. Reyes keeps it in. Coleman into battle. Blocks that clearance. Tries to center it. Might have hit her own teammate there. Guelph will come away with it. Carried in deep, but Bristol comes away with it. She's got 2 on her. Centering effort cleared away by Reyes. Oh, a good pass up the middle from Mealing to Coleman, but broken up by Guelph. Bust clears it to center, but Guelph will chuck it back in. Mealing can't get it out. Good stick work there. Bristol will turn, grab it, fire it through the middle. Couldn't quite find Mikulski, but still be the first one to the puck. Line change happening here. Foss just misses that one. Scott will come back, play it in. Guelph's D regroups again, but they do clear. They'll have to tag up. Foss with a good pickup there to prevent a breakaway. But Waterloo's still offside. Shang to take the face off with Mikulski and Scott. Bailey and Martin on D. Waterloo controls, chipped into the zone. Their defense will get it, but not past center. Martin carries it in. Cute move, can't quite find Mikulski, but Zhang comes up with the loose puck, takes it into the corner, centers for Mikulski. Steered aside by the D. Bailey pinches, and takes a funny bounce over her stick. A lot of vindication. She plays it up to Mikulski, up to Zhang, they take the line. Scott, great support, over to the side. Guelph clears. Icing waved off. Guelph comes out with the puck. Lecky stripped the puck from her stick on her way to the net. Centered into the slot. Lecky will chip it out. Get some fresh legs on D. Lecky forechecking. Good pass from Guelph. Takes center. The back check from Bailey breaks that up. Minakina takes over, plays it to the boards. Guelph keeps it in, centers, but they can't connect on a shot. Lecky up through center, picked off by Guelph. But that's gobbled up by Minakina with a head of steam. She takes center, crosses the blue line, makes a streak in, has a shot just wide. Bailey behind the net. Loose puck. Smothered by Guelph. 40 seconds left to go in the third. Waterloo with a commanding 3-0 lead. Guelph's number 10, hungry for one before the end of the game. But she's dispossessed and the puck is cleared. Fired back in, delayed offside. Fuss off the boards. Guelph through center. Whetstone will shut down this loose play. 7 seconds to go. A hush falls across the crowd. Guelph's fate is sealed here. And that's the game. A 3-0 win for the visiting Waterloo Ravens. The Waterloo parents are impressed with this result, I think. And another shutout for Zoe Whetstone. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Arbo Sports. Next game will be coming from Waterloo in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series against Guelph.